Welcome to the Schumacher Homestead. The homestead is owned and operated by the Bluffton, Pandora Swiss Historical Society. The house you see in front of us was built by Christian and Barbara Schumacher, immigrants from Switzerland, who after arriving in Ohio stayed in Wayne County for a while, but then moved here, bought some land from Thomas Gray, lived in the log cabin that he had built here, and then in 1843 built this house. The house has a central hallway, and that hallway is designed to cool the house. In fact, if you were standing with me here right now, you'd feel a nice cool breeze coming down the hallway, which would cool the lower portion of the house. The house consists of 2 rooms down and 4 rooms up, as well as a full attic and a hand-dug basement, all lined both walls and floor with limestone. The room we're entering now is known as the stove room. It would have been heated in times past with a cast iron stove. Now, when we bought the house, it had also been divided into a second bedroom back here for Barbara to live in after Peter and Elizabeth, her son and his wife, took over the farm, and they let Barbara live here with them, as was often the case with a lot of the families. Multi-generations living in the houses. The kitchen was the heartbeat of the house. This was where food was prepared, food was preserved in getting ready for winter, and probably a lot of activities were done here, especially in the winter, due to the fact that the fireplace here would have kept this room one of the warmest in the house. This is a reconstruction of a fireplace that we think might have been here in the house. It includes the big area for cooking, as well as a small oven for baking bread, and that's functional. We do bread baking in there fairly regularly. Now let's go upstairs. The upstairs consists of 4 bedrooms, and in 1843 the bedrooms were used mainly for sleeping. After a day of getting up at dawn and going to bed at dark, you were tired and you slept here. Not a lot of activities happened in the bedroom. You can see these rooms are fairly good size, and they would have had to have been because a lot of people slept here. Peter and Elizabeth, after they had taken over the farm, actually raised 16 children here in the house. This would have been the parents' room. And I apologize for the bright lights at the windows, but you can't walk into any rooms in the house without walking into a window that shines the sun in. This room might have been one of the warmer rooms in the winter, due to the fact that the chimney from the downstairs fireplace goes through here. And once that had burnt for several days, it's very likely this room would have been a little warmer. There are several other buildings that are part of the homestead. We're going to take a quick look at them, but we won't tour them today. In future videos, we'll be talking about the individual rooms and some of the individual buildings, and you'll be able to get a closer look at some of those. Right outside the back door is the workshop, where a lot of items for the farm would have been repaired, made new. Whatever they needed, they produced a lot of it themselves. And next door is the buggy house, where the buggies would have been kept to be able to go to town or whatever else they might want to do. Off to the left here is an outside bake oven that would have been used in the summer in order to not heat up the house. In the background, the building to the right is a drying shed. Behind that, you can just see the roof from here, is the smokehouse. And then off to the left there is the outhouse. The Swiss called it their Hüsli. To the side of the house is the summer kitchen. This is where all the meals and food prep would have happened in the summer with the intent of keeping the heat out of the house. We'll be doing more of an exploration of the summer house later on. After the Schumachers moved out of the log cabin, they used the cabin for a long time as a cow barn, but then eventually built the big barn in 1854. The barn's a fairly long way from the house, but my theory is that it helped keep flies out of the house. So there's a pocket sketch of the Schumacher homestead. We hope that you'll be able to take some time to come with us sometime and see it in person, or attend one of the events that we have out here. We have a Christmas open house, and in September there's the fall festival where there are things like a petting zoo, lots of demonstration, tours of all the buildings and barns, and the chance to see the house up close and personal. We'd like to thank you for being with us today, and we welcome you back in the future. Thank you, and good night.